Rob Cairns here. Thanks for joining us for the SDM Show. The SDM Show is a product of StunningDigitalMarketing.com, the digital marketing agency that will help fulfill all your digital marketing needs, including web design, PPC campaigns, branding, and more. Please come see us. And while you're visiting our website, StunningDigitalMarketing.com, please sign up for your free marketing newsletter. This includes tips, tricks, and things to help you succeed in the digital world in business, marketing, life, WordPress, and more. We promise in our newsletter no hard sales, and there is no credit card required. Now please sit back and relax and join us for this week's podcast episode. Hi all, Rob Cairns here. I'm the CEO and Chief Creator of Amazing Ideas at StunningDigitalMarketing.com. I hope everybody's having an amazing week. This week I really wanted to have some fun with this podcast and share with you some personal things in the world of technology and share with you some things that I've done in the past and where it's kind of brought us today. As many of you know, I've been involved with technology and computers for a long time. Actually, I started back in high school, and that was thanks to my late father, and I really enjoyed it. And frankly, computers kept me in school, which is a good thing. I originally wrote code, and I even used punch cards. And that's something many of the generation days probably never done, is use punch cards to get code into the computer. An old trick we used to do was number punch cards on the back of them in the order of our program or the task that was going to happen. That way, if you dropped your punch cards, frankly, you could reorder them quickly. And it was something I learned from an old high school instructor. Well, he had one student who was a bit of a smartass, and frankly, he didn't believe in numbering his punch cards. He said he could work himself out of anything, till one day he stepped out to go to the washroom, and a good friend of mine took his punch card deck, probably 100 cards, and played Let's Shuffle the Cards. Well, needless to say, it took him about a couple weeks just to figure out what order those cards should have been in. Oh well, if he had taken the time and learned. You know, it's funny at the time, but it's probably a really mean thing that was done at that time. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, really, after a little bit of a story, on what the first killer app was. And we all hear this expression, oh, that's a killer app, that's the app I gotta have. Well, there was one app in the history of the computer that made the original Apple II succeed, the Apple II Plus, and then on to today's PCs and today's computers that we use now. Well, originally when big mainframes were developed, they were developed to number crunch, and the personal computer was no different. The first killer app was an app called VisiCalc, and VisiCalc came out for the Apple II and the Apple II Plus, and what it was the first spreadsheet. My dad was a company treasurer, today would have been called a CFO, same functionality, and he used VisiCalc back in his business to crunch numbers for reports. And that was the first killer app. And without VisiCalc and without spreadsheets, frankly, the personal computer never would have taken off the way it has, and we wouldn't be where we are today. Yeah, we have all these cool apps like Photoshop and video editors, but when it came down to it back then, it was all numbers. And after VisiCalc, it developed the Sun. And the second killer app was for the IBM MS-DOS days, and that was a program called Lotus 123. Owned originally by Lotus Corp, eventually sold to IBM. And Lotus was just a more enhanced spreadsheet. So that's killer app number 2. And as we go on in this process, Lotus developed the Sun, which was the grandson of VisiCalc. And that was made by a company called Microsoft. And what did Microsoft create? Excel. And Excel is the spreadsheet that many people use today in the business world. Yeah, there's Google Calc, part of Google Docs, and other spreadsheets out there. But in key business, Excel is key. And out of these three apps, only Excel is still produced today. VisiCalc and Lotus 123 have gone to the computer graveyard. And frankly, we owe a lot to these developers who developed these three apps, because without them, I truly don't believe the personal computer would be where we are today. I should tell you that what really mattered back then was data manipulation. And frankly, that's what computers do really well, amongst other things, is number crunching. Now, on my shelf, as I turn around my home office, I still see the original VisiCalc box and the media I still have from when my dad got it. And that reminds me every day what that app means in the history of computers. VisiCalc should be in the Computer Software Hall of Fame, no question, because without it, we wouldn't be where we are with personal computers. Hope you all enjoyed this little trip down memory lane I'm taking with you. And I'm going to do some more of these just for fun, because I love talking about the history and where the business has been and where computers has been. As always, the podcast brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing. Jump on over to StunningDigitalMarketing.com to sign up for your free marketing business WordPress and Life newsletter. It's 100% free. We'll never ask you for a credit card, and we'll never put a hard sell in the newsletter. We might promote some products occasionally from some of our friends, but that's about it. This podcast is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Please keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Make your business succeed. Bye for now.